and good Friday morning for you, my friends. It is March the 7th, 2025 at, oh God, we're really 7:30 in the morning. So good morning. Cheers. And yeah, well, I just had a very interesting visit from someone. I'm not sure he lives here anymore, but he was broken into in the first floor. He knocked on my door. Of all people he chose to knock on my door for whatever reason, asking to ask someone on the first floor who works for OCH, active OCH member, for a medical supply of something. Asking me that if I can hold it for him, he can pick it up. He'll come and get it. Which makes no sense to me at all. I mean, this guy must have access to a phone. Call the department manager, call OCH Safety Services. But he says, well, Dan, this guy on the fourth floor who works for OCH, who's a member of OCH, has keys to all apartments in the area. He needs to talk to him about this so-called medical supply, and he asked me to hold it for him to pick up. So if I get you to get the medical box from this OCH volunteer member, I'm not sure, whatever, and to hold it for him, doesn't make any sense at all. Scam, what they're trying to prove. And I said, well, there's other people who must know his number. Talk to Sylvie. Well, it's too early. I don't want to knock on her door. You knocked on my door at just before 7:30 in the morning. What's with that? I was thinking that, but something weird about that. And that's kind of a strange coincidence, to be honest. Because I was thinking, who has access to all the floors here in the building, who might have access to all the apartments? As you guys I have a piggy bank here I got from Dollarama just last week. And I had over $20 in loonies and toonies in there. Most of it's gone, just some change, less than $5. So I was freaking out. I was just like, I carry cash on me. Like, I have my winnings from the casino, the pool hall, slot machine anyway. And I won $370 from 20, and I was carrying that cash. And I was tempted to do a recycling fund. And it's a form of a can, so I figured, hey, nice touch. It's a form of a can, because I collect cans, and that'll be my can collection money. And I had over $20 of change in there. Well, mysteriously disappeared. So I'm very suspicious of someone who has keys, access to my place. And it looks like someone has been here illegally more than once. And when this guy knocked on my door, he wanted to get this medical supply and give it to me so he can pick up from this volunteer or active member of the building and so forth, community housing here. But no one can get to him on the first floor. So that's kind of very suspicious right there. And question asked, question answered. I was actually thinking, and I was wondering, is this guy up there? He used to live beside me. Oh God, 20 years ago, he used to live beside me back then. But that was a long time ago. That was from my Asian days when I was being sexually abused by somebody back then. But that's another story. He lives on the fourth floor now where cameras are. And yet he has no access to reach him. I don't think anyone does, actually, because the guy down the hall was asking if he saw him and everything, all that. I was looking for him, so he doesn't have his number as well. So he's very secretive, and I guess it gives numbers to only certain people and so forth. I don't know, because of potentially being bugged all the time by people calling all the time, maybe something like that. I don't know. But the guy, I was wondering, this OCH member or volunteer or active member, whatever, has access to all the apartment buildings? Apparently he does. I was wondering about that, and when this guy knocked on my door, he said, well, he has all access to all the keys in the building. I'm like, oh, wow, it's kind of a strange coincidence you gave me that information. Cool. I was just wondering about that just 20 minutes before. I woke up at 6 a.m. and I was tossing and turning and I was thinking, and I'm drinking again, to be honest, because I'm stressed out. But due to the possibility that someone came in here and took my change from my piggy bank there, that's very disconcerting. So yeah, my people camera is missing from my door now. I noticed it's gone. It's totally gone. It's like, but I got my locks changed again. But if he has access to all the keys in the building, then he can get in whenever he wants if he is doing illegal activities and coming to people's places where there are no cameras. That's the thing. And that's another thing I want to bring up as well. What I want to talk about, like that seems like a scam. That guy knocked on my door, asking me to hold a delivery for him, and he can pick up from me from this OCH from this building, um, uh, this community housing member, and so forth. So it seems like illegal activity is definitely going on here. It's like I tried to play along. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good to me. No problem. When I see him, I'll ask him. But ask Sylvie, why it's early. I don't want to bug her. So why are you knocking on my door for? And trying to convince me to, or try to, try to get me to hold on to this medical delivery from the guy OCH member upstairs, who has access to all the keys at all the buildings, all the apartments here. I mean, sorry, but he even said that he has access to all the buildings here with the keys and everything on that. So, question asked, question answered. As you can see, I didn't get much sleep, but I have been talking actively with. I talked to property manager again, as you guys know. He doesn't answer. He never answers my call. I bet you $1,000 when was white. I'll be given first priority because I'm indigenous. Is that racism or what? But yeah. And another thing I want to talk about as well. There's no cameras on this floor. Why are all the people with criminal records, with violence and drug trafficking, put in a place where there's no camera at all? Use your head. I'm finding out more information than ever from different informants and so forth. I also found out that the person who died in OD was actually a drug trafficker and was in federal prison for trafficking cocaine and all that. And he lives here too. So yeah, I just found that out from somebody very recently. I did not know that. But at the same time, he took training with someone else I know for a long time. I'm not sure to be a cop or something else, something like that. I'm not sure. Because she went and trained with him. But she's really ashamed of him and very sad for him when he was alive about him getting the drugs, which makes sense why he always hang out where the troublemaker used to live here, where all the trouble starts. Well, there's still trouble here, my friends, still trouble. Mind you, it's scattered and very disorganized and very sloppy. They're doing a sloppy job because she kept them in check and she was smart. She knew how to keep their tracks covered, but she's gone now. They're making a lot of stupid mistakes. Are they ever? Desperation trying to harass me and try to bother me and try to set me up and everything. Wow. Obviously, I'm really upset that $20. Thank God it's not more than $20 in this piggy bank. But yeah. Obviously, someone took the change and everything, all that. So that's one of my things today I'm talking about. And this person who came knocking on my door so early in the morning, you don't want to bug the other neighbor who knows this OCH member who's very active involved, and he even said that he does have keys to all the apartments and everything. So that explains who may have been coming in here and asking about the cleaner, the janitor, to talk to him about this medical bag or medical kit that he needs. And I was wondering about that. I know during the breakfast community, he started shift around 9 or 10. but there's a reason why he keeps snooping in and looking in. So there's more than a few people who are corrupt. Drug trafficking, possibly trying to set me up and don't mess with me, don't mess with me. I mean, pick up a medical bag from him and then hold it for him. He can pick it up. Doesn't make any sense. The story doesn't make no sense at all. God, I wish we recorded that. But yeah, drug trafficking is very active in this building, unfortunately, and the setups are starting. And sexual harassment is up to the peak with me. But I talked to the police, and they were cool. Two of them came in, and I invited them inside to talk about the situation. And with my trauma and everything, I probably went back and forth in time and so forth. And I have been sexually abused for like over a decade there before. So that's a little tough little thing to recollect again. And yeah. And it definitely is racism. Probably manager won't call, he never will. And the drug trafficking. It makes you wonder if they're covered up and protecting the drug traffickers and people with wrong records. When they put them in no camera is. Makes you wonder. But yeah, trying to set me up, trying to sexually harass me, saying that I'm a prostitute when I'm not, obviously, you guys know me. Possible rape and sexual assault that happened more than once. Yeah. So the thing is, keep vigilant. And this guy asking for a medical kit for me to hold for him makes no sense at all. Indicative of drug trafficking too. And he even says the guy, the community housing member who's actively involved with them, does have access to all the buildings with keys and so forth. So he always talks to the people who are known for drug trafficking and everything, all that. He was actively associating with them, obviously, on the floor here, which is kind of like disconcerting. So yeah, things I've been looking into about a lot of things about this guy. He used to have some transvestite cross-dresser living with him, and then this other guy, he claims to be his son, but there was someone else before that who came to my place a couple of times and tried to get some women's clothes from me. Cross-dresser and everything like that. Was that his son too? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. That was kind of weird. Way a long time ago, about a decade ago, there. Over a decade. Until this new guy who says he's his son is with him now. Maybe it is his son. They do have a resemblance, but the other guy was a cross-dresser. Maybe that's not the son. I don't know. But cross-dresser, like dressing in clothes and wearing clothes and everything all that. I don't know. Who knows? That's kind of another story for another time. But yeah, something very weird going on here, and definitely 100% suspicious about this guy neighbor knocking my door. I said, "Well, ask Sylvie. She knows Dan. Like, I don't want to talk to her and bother her this early morning, but you're knocking on my door, asking me to take a medical kit from him." Or talk to the janitor. He kept changing the story. Like, talk to the janitor. He has item. Ask Dan. Don't you have his number? Well, it makes you wonder who is corrupt and definitely some kind of drug trafficking thing. And I sense and I smell a setup. But this guy also mentioned that this community housing member has access to all the buildings too. And all the money missing from this here, something has to be probed deeper into. Also, there is a dark past from community building members here, over 20 years ago anyway, where a member who worked for the company, like, this is kind of stupid, but it was that's why I got fired right away and was cut too easily. He used to come in people's buildings illegally, and people would come home and find stuff missing, find beer cans there. I guess he was getting drunk in the places as he was in the job, but he was a member of the community community housing there, but he got caught and fired. He was just being too sloppy and too stupid. And these guys, without their leader who moved out, are making sloppy, stupid mistakes as well. Bugging me at 7 a.m. in the morning for taking a medical kit, asking for the cleaner to come and give him the kit, and then bugging me about the OCH, the community building member here, and mentioning those two specifically, and also saying that this member on the fourth floor where cameras are has access to all the building apartments and so forth. Well, all the apartments here in this building anyway. But what's going on here? Something's got to be done about this. Something very serious is going on. Definitely drug trafficking, and they're trying to set me up. They're sexually harassing me, saying I'm a prostitute when I'm not. And they're being sloppy. Since your little hooker drug trafficking friend has moved out, you guys are getting sloppy. She kept you guys in check. Your leader is gone. Your whore is gone. Now you're trying to pin me, but you're making stupid, sloppy mistakes. Bring it on. Just bring it on. You guys are stupid. But yeah, this goes to show you how smart she really was, and she was smart. I give her that. She was very smart, very analytical, very kept them in check. They kept getting away with the crimes and everything. And since she moved out, are they ever being sloppy? Well, trying to set me up, saying these lies about me, defamation, conspiracy, drug trafficking. You guys are in deep trouble. But yeah. Man, I should record that. But at least we know now. I was wondering if that guy has access to the buildings, the apartments here. I mean, the buildings. I keep saying buildings for some reason. But yeah, now we know that he does access to the apartments here. And the only person that could come in here and he sees the people. This is very suspicious about him bugging me and so early in the morning. That other guy to hold a medical kit for him and ask me to ask the cleaner for that. Is that a hint? Hint, 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 wink, wink. Yeah. Well, these guys are probably the human traffickers, the drug traffickers anyway, at least. Very suspicious. So, yeah, I guess I'll let you guys go. I am not having a coffee this morning because it would cause an anxiety attack. I had a very severe panic attack there the other day, and having a coffee would just provoke that. But yeah, minutes of the week. It's Friday. Happy Friday, my friends. As many things counts. And the cleaner has to be looked into the community building active volunteer or worker or God knows what. 10 worker who refused to give me a transfer has blocked me since then. When I asked for transfer, she didn't bother showing up. She was seeing the one who was in drugs down the hall back then, obviously. You know, once I get the verification of that, oh, she's going down. So, yeah, there's a corrupt, very corrupt community housing establishment here. Drug trafficking. Why I think drug trafficking is very active here, and why these guys, all of them, are living on the floor with no cameras. Doesn't make any sense. But this happened way before the new property manager and so forth. So it's another thing to consider. But we have to work together to stop drug trafficking, human trafficking, violence against women, and so forth, and all that jazz. So take care, stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. And have a safe weekend. Watch your back.